Hey, what's up, fellas? How you doing? Man, Antonelli here.
Hey, what's going on, guys? How we doing? Man, Antonelli here. I don't know if you guys heard this, but it just came out that Major League Baseball is thinking about possibly changing the playoff structure for the 2022 season. I've had a lot of people messaging me, asking me for my opinion. So we're going to go over exactly what is potentially going to be proposed, what they're at least discussing. And then I'm going to give my thoughts on it. And I'd like also for you guys to give your thoughts in the comment section below. And don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe if you guys aren't subscribed already. Okay, so there's basically three major changes that could be getting proposed. The first one is expanding the playoff field from 5 teams in each league to 7 teams. The second proposal is to have the top record in the American League and the top record in the National League to receive byes. So they will pass the wild card round and go right to the divisional round. And then the third proposal is that after those top teams from each league get a bye, the next top 3 teams, so the 2 divisional winners and the best record of the wild card team, will be able to choose their opponent. So they'll be having a live television broadcast with, I'm assuming, a official from each team there, and they will decide who they want to play. So the number 2, technically the number 2 seed, so again, once that team with the bye, the best record in the AL and the NL, once they're gone, the number 2 seed in each league will get to choose who they want to play from those bottom 3 wild card teams. And then after they choose, then the next divisional winner is going to get to choose who they want to play between the other 2 wild card teams. And then the last 2 teams will play each other. The other thing is, when this happens in that first wild card series, whoever is the higher seed, that team is going to play all 3 games at home. So it'll be a 3-game series. There will no longer be any play-in games. It'll be a 3-game series. So the first team to win 2 games will move on. And all 3 of those games will be played at the higher seed team's stadium. So 3 potential changes with this new playoff system. More playoff teams, byes, and choosing your opponent, okay? So let's kind of go through these 3 things, talk a little bit about it, and then I want your guys' opinion. Here's my thought. Here's my kind of overarching thought, is that I'm not a fan of first expanding to more playoff teams. Baseball to me is a sport where you play 162 games, okay? Baseball is a sport where on any one day, on any given day, anyone can win. I think probably more than maybe any other sport. And so I don't want more teams in the playoffs, because I feel like you can get a situation where you're not allowing the 162 games to matter as much when you start throwing in more teams, because now in any 3-game series, right, it's a very, very short series, I just feel like the best team isn't always going to win. And I understand that's that way in any sport, right? The best team doesn't always win. But in a sport like basketball, let's say, when more than half the league makes the playoffs, the 8 seed playing against the 1 seed, like in basketball, that 8 seed, I don't know the stats, but I don't feel like that 8 seed is going to beat that 1 seed almost ever. Baseball, I feel like, is different. And I just don't want to see, I don't want baseball to become basketball, where everybody's making, like half the teams are making the playoffs. Because I just feel like anyone can win in a short series. And again, I don't want to diminish the 162 games. Now, I know the top team is going to get a bye, so they're safe for that wild card round. And I just feel like you're going to have a 2 seed playing against a 7 seed, and who knows what can happen in a 3-game series. And I know people are going to say, well, you should have played better in the playoffs. Well, I just think it's dangerous to start allowing too many teams in the playoffs. When we first went to this wild card where we added the 5th team and we had the play-in game, I know it's super exciting. It is really, really exciting. But I'm still not a fan of just one game, for baseball. Anything can happen in one game, especially in baseball. Now, I do understand Major League Baseball, some of the things that they're talking about, that this is going to cause more teams to play out the regular season longer. Right? You're going to have more teams in the playoff hunt. It's going to create more excitement for more cities around the country. I understand it. It's going to cause more teams to not want to just give up and tank because now they've got a better chance to get in because there's additional teams. And again, I totally understand that. I just don't want baseball to become where everyone, half the teams are getting into the playoffs. You play 162 games. Let's make sure that we're taking the best teams over 162 games. Now, choosing your opponent, I think, is kind of an interesting thing here. I don't think it's like, I didn't hear this and I'm like, man, that is really, really, that's so cool. But I didn't hear it and be like, oh, my God, that's a terrible, terrible idea. And it does somewhat incentivize you even more to be one of the top teams in the league. So obviously being that number 1 seed, that is huge. That gives you the bye, right? And you don't even have to play a series. So you're going to have teams, even those top teams are going to battle all the way through. Every single game is going to be crucial to get that number 1 seed. So that's cool. But then for the 2, 3, and 4 seeds, to be able to choose your opponent is really, really interesting. And one, again, it's going to incentivize you to play all the way through so that you can win that, let's just say, 2nd seed, so that now you're able to choose. You're able to look at this and strategically pick, okay, who do I think we match up well against? I think it's kind of a cool idea. I know some people are going to say that we've never done that before and just keep it the way it is. I'd be kind of interested to see that. I think it would be cool to look and see how is a team going to decide who they want to play. And then your other team that's, the number 2 team picks you. Yeah, well, screw you. You're going to pick against me. Now we're really going to knock you off. So I think that would be kind of cool to see. So overall, I don't think this is like a horrible thing. I am against adding more teams. I don't want too many teams in the playoffs. And the way it is right now, I think it's pretty good the way it is right now, right? There's not a ton of teams in it. You get that one exciting day of baseball for that play-in game. Again, even though when we first started this, I was saying I don't like one-game playoff, series. But at the same time, it is pretty exciting, right? That game, there's a lot of energy in that win-or-go-home game, which I do think is pretty cool. But I don't need to see 2 additional teams getting into the playoffs. And again, I get what Major League Baseball is doing. More games, more playoff games, more teams in the hunt, more people watching, more money for the league. But I just don't want it to get too watered down. Well, not only just watered down, I don't want to see a team, the 2 seed playing against the 7 seed, who's not even close to the same caliber team. The records aren't even close, and for whatever reason, that team, anything can happen in 2 games, like I said earlier. So I don't know that I want to see that. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Let me know if you'd like to see this, what parts you like, what parts you don't like. We can discuss it down there. So thanks again for watching. I appreciate it. Give it a thumbs up. Share the video with all your friends. Subscribe to the channel. And we'll talk to you later.